Hi all, in this session we are going to learn about ARM templates. Here we can learn what is ARM templates, how to create ARM templates, where we are going to use the ARM templates, everything we are going to discuss in detail. Let us quickly understand what do you mean by ARM templates. Here ARM template stands for Azure Resource Manager templates. It is a kind of automation tool. In which automation it has been used? It is used to automate infrastructure creation, just like IAC. Here, as you know, what do you mean by IAC? As we had discussed already in the last sessions regarding what do you mean by IAC. IAC stands for infrastructure as a code. Means with the help of the code or script, how we can automate the creation of infrastructure over cloud or on premises. In which environment you have taken, in that particular environment, by using the code, how you can be able to automate. So this is nothing but IAC. Here ARM template is a kind of IAC tool which is a cloud native or Azure native tool in order to use to automate the infrastructure creation. Here my query is, by using only ARM template in Azure we can be able to automate the infrastructure creation? No. There are a lot of IAC tools are available over the market to do the automation of infrastructure creation, like Terraform. We have Terraform, then PowerShell, Bash script, Ansible, Puppet Chef. Like we have lot of IAC tools are available over market in order to do the automation. But among those, ARM template is a kind of Azure native automation tool where we are going to use to automate the infrastructure creation. Here, whatever the resource which you had created over the Azure portal on backend, which script is going to run? ARM script is going to run behind of every resource creation. So I'm going to show it to you in a practical manner, then you will have some kind of better understanding. Here, right now I'm in the Azure portal. What I will do, I'm going to create one resource group. Inside of the resource group, I'm going to create one VM. I'm going to show to you what kind of ARMS, how the ARM script is running behind of virtual machine. So quickly, I'm going to create one resource group. Right now, I don't have any resource group in my account. So quickly, I'm going to create an Australia East. That's fine for me. Click on create. So go to resource, come to home and click on virtual machine, and here click on Azure virtual machine. Here everything we are selecting manually. Here there is any kind of automation? No. I am selecting each and every option manually only with the help of my mouse. The resource group is RG1 which I just created, and I set the name of VM as VM1, and the region I am going to select as East, Australia East, just like the resource group which I had created. So no infrastructure redundancy required, standard. So image I am going to select Windows Server 2019. So here I am going to select DS1 V2 as a size of the VM, and here I am going to set the name, username devtester928. Okay, password I am going to set see guys, here whatever the options I have, I am going to select each and everything manually only. Here there is no kind of automation. Here everything is a manual effect. So just now, okay, leaving everything default, just click on review plus create, then it is going to validate. So once the validation has been successfully passed, just click on create. Sometimes it is taking time. Okay, so here I'm trying to create one service. The name of the service is virtual machine service. So if I click on create, what will happen? On backend, some kind of template is running, submitting the deployment template for resource group RG1. Means backend, what will happen? It is going to run ARM template behind of the scenario. So once the resource has been created, I'm going to show to you where we will get the template of the resource. Suppose if I had created a resource like virtual machine I had created. Suppose if I want to check the template which is behind of virtual machine, Yes, I can be able to check. I'm going to show to you how we can be able to check it. And one more thing, why we are going to use the automation? Because of in order to reduce the manual effort. Why? While doing anything in a manual way, there is a chance to get errors. Means sometimes we will miss something. Like even though if I have the requirement to create the 10 VMs, maybe I had created 9 missions without errors, but the 10 mission I missed something because of human errors are common. But if I have the script, in that script if I had mentioned each and everything in a script way, how many times you can run the script, the same will be generated or not? Yes. If there is there any deviation will be there? No deviation will be there. If you run 1,000 times as well, the same thing, whatever the things which you define over the script, that will be generated. Just go to resource. Right now I'm in the VM1, so it is currently in the running state. So how I can be able to check? Just click on export in the VM tab. Here you have the option export template. Click on export template. Here just select the first option, ARM template. By default it has been clicked and it is going to generate the template. So once the template has been generated, I am going to show to you what is the template which is running behind of VM creation. If I want to create the similar kind of mission, what I will do? I just take the template from here, whichever is generated. By doing some customization or modification to the existing template, I am going to run it once again. Then automatically, whatever the features I set right now, with the same features, I can be able to create the one more VM, or how many VMs I want, that many VMs I can be able to create with the same configuration by using the existing template. Okay, if you want to understand in a better way, I am going to copy, Control C, just open the notepad, and here new tab. Okay, I am paste here. Here this is the script which is running behind of virtual mission. Okay, fine. So right now I want to create one virtual mission with the help of ARM template. And before running the script, first of all we just need to understand the script. So for that purpose, I am going to show to you some sample script which is available and here. But before showing the script, first of all we just need to understand about the syntax of ARM template. And trust me guys, it is the script which I am going to show is not that much difficulty when compared with the application code, because of while we developing any kind of application code, what will happen? We need to develop some kind of logics, but here there are no such kind of logics are there. We just need to take care about of schemas and standards and syntax errors. Means whatever the things which we want to create, we are going to define there only. So it is a simple, it is not that much difficulty like application code. You can simply understand what is the client requirement, what are the different things, what you need to modify. You simply need to focus on that only. And here the syntax is the first thing, schema. Which schema you are going to use? The schema will not change, it is going to be standard. And then after that, content version, it is also mandatory. The schema and content version are mandatory for any kind of base template. Then after that, parameters, variables, functions, resources, outputs. Just please consider these 5 things: parameters, variables, functions, resources, outputs. These are the 5 things which we get in any kind of ARM template. But out of these 5, the parameters and resources are the main things, because of without parameters and without the resource group, means without resources, we can't be able to create the base ARM template, basic ARM template. If you want to create any kind of basic ARM template, parameter and resource are mandatory. Like content version, schema, content version, parameters and resource are mandatory for any kind of base ARM template. And here I have one sample script, so I am going to open. Just click on open. So once I click here, what will happen? It is going to open the script which I had developed in the Visual Studio Code, the VS Code. Simply in short terms we can call it VS Code. So This is the script which I had developed. So here, if you observe, what are the syntax I just told to you? Schema. This is the schema or not? Content version. This is the content version or not? The next, parameters. I'm going to show to you guys each and everything. Don't worry. Then you will have some kind of better understanding what exactly going on. Here, okay, calm down. So just I'm minimizing the code. Okay, I maximize the code, and here if you click here, okay, if you click yes, here we have the parameters or not. Here, even though for looking the code is too much big, but if I minimize to different parameters, it will become short or not. Yes. What the proform I have? First all, I have schema. Then after that, I have the content version. Then after that, parameters, variables, resources, outputs. Here we just mention the functions. It is optional. If you have any kind of requirement with the functions option, then you can mention. Otherwise, you can ignore. Here, while creating any kind of base template, what we need to have? Schema, content version, parameters, resources, and rest of all things are optional. If you want to mention any kind of variables, you can mention. If you want to mention outputs, you can mention. If you want to mention functions, you can mention. It is purely your requirement. Here, let us understand quickly what is meant by each and every option. So first of all, I am going to discuss about the parameters. Here in parameters, what we are going to define here, while creating the resource, suppose assume here we are going to create virtual machine. While creating the virtual machine, I need to pass some kind of things, like I need to pass admin username. It is going to change, and I need to pass the admin password and the public IP name, the allocation methodology. So these all things I am going to mention in the parameters. These are all the parameters which is related to the resource which I am going to create. Means here these all things I need to set. Here I need to select that I need to pass the value admin username, password I need to pass, and then after that public password required or not I need to pass, and OS version I need to select which OS it is need to be deployed on top of VM, and I need to select the VM size. I need to select the VM location. Here I need to select the VM name, because of whatever the customization things, what are the main things which we need to fill, those all comes under the parameters. Based on the parameters, just like a properties or characteristics, so where we can be able to choose the options. Here I am going to select in the here, coming to each parameter I have the different options. Like in parameters admin username, what I need to do, it is a kind of string, means I need to pass the alphabets. I need to pass the whatever the username you had entered here, it is going to take input as a string. And admin password, here if you select the admin password, it is also a secure string. Here string is visible. Secure string means it is not going to visible to anyone. While you are entering, it is showing you in the dots. Then why? Because of we had mentioned it is a kind of secure string. Because of it is going to protect the password which you are going to enter, it is not visible to others. And DNS prefix, it is also a string. And public name, here I am going to set the name of the public IP is my public IP. Because of public IP I need to allocate to my VM in order to access from remote location. And we have a lot of things are there. So public IP allocation method. So how we are going to allocate the public IP to your VM? Like sometimes we are going to provide some kind of static IP to our VM without changing. Static means it doesn't change. Even though you restart your machine for multiple times, the IP which you had allocated to the VM will not change if you select static. But if you select the static, if you select dynamic, whenever you restart a VM, automatically the IP address will be changed. Here in the name itself it suggests dynamic means it is going to change continuously. Fine. And come down and come to the variables. Here we are going to declare the variables. Here what are the variables we had passed here? The nickname is my nick, address prefix, and subnet name, subnet prefix. Here whatever the things which we had defined in the variables while creating the VM, if anything is there, it is going to refer the variable session. So based on the things which we had defined or the variables, it is going to pull the data from the variables and it will be applied to the VM while creating the resource, means while creating the VM. Here in which network it is going to create? In my VNet it is going to create one VNet. The name of the VNet is my VNet, and what is the IP series? 10.0.0./16 CADR 16. And let us understand more about the virtual network concepts in the upcoming session, but right now just please have a look on it. What do you mean by VNet, subnet? There are a lot of things, and here the important part, resources. Here what the resource I am going to create, I am going to open each and everything. So fine. So resources, what the resources? The type Microsoft.network, public IP address, API version, name, parameters. See here the name, how can I set? Public IP name. Parameters, in parameters what are the name which I had put? Public name, it is going to take that. And the location, so in which location the parameter is taken, in that particular location only it is going to create the resource. And everything I had mentioned over the parameter, so it is going to refer to the parameter. Whatever the things I had passed over there, it is going to pull the data from there and it is going to mention or allocate to that particular feature or the option. And name, parameters, public SKU, so properties. So these are all the things, DNS settings, everything it is going to refer the parameters only. In parameters we had defined each and everything, like what is the name, public IP name, so in which location, so everything. If you want to check again, so go to the parameters here, as I said the username, password, so everything I had said. Public IP name, what is public IP name? This is the parameter. So here if I mention the public IP name in the parameter, it is going to refer to this parameter. I had clearly indicate that in parameters refer to the parameters and public IP name, and come down and outputs finally. So there are a lot of properties which has been associated. So come down here, we have different things are there. Here I am going to select the OS disk type, like I am going to create the standard SSD in the LRS. And data disk size, here I am going to create the data disk size with 1023, but this much is not required. 10 GB is enough for me right now. So I am going to create the 10 GB of data disk. I am going to attach to the VM which is going to create. And if you want to do any kind of such kind of modifications, then here you can be able to do that. Here we can set the name, everything. So go up, and here come down. So here we have the option to set the image as well. So where we have the option to check the image, just a moment, I am going to check. So is the image is correctly or not? So I just want to confirm once again. Here I think in parameters, so come down, metadata, okay, publication, voice variables, okay. Here come down, okay. Here we have one thing is there where we can be able to select the VM image. So I am checking for it. So where I can be able, no, here no, data disk, no, storage profile. So voice profile, come to properties, no, come here. Somewhere I am going to put the image. So I hope in, so okay, admin password, username, DNS, okay, public IP name, okay, public allocation method, metadata, okay. So here, yes, I hope here we have VM size. So here VM size. So here we can, so what are the things? So suppose I'm going to show to you, suppose while creating VM, I have the multiple options. Whatever the options I have, so I'm going to select here manually. But instead of doing that, what I am going to do, so here, suppose generally what machine I am selecting here, the size is DS1 V2 because of it is created for lab purpose. That's this thing is enough for me. So here it is something different. So come here, okay, DS1 V2, here D2. So here I am going to mention with it. Fine. So it is going to create the, right now it is going to create the VM with the size DS1 V2, and earlier the data disk size is 1023, means that much GB is not required. I had changed it to 10 GB. So rest of all things I am going to continue. I am okay. Just click on here. Save all. So here you have successfully implemented core. But before executing the script over the Azure, first of all, you just need to validate the code. So for that purpose, we have Control A, Control C. So we have the one website is there. The name of the website is, I am going to show to you guys. What is the name of the website? JSON lint. This is the website where we are going to use. So here paste your code and come down, you have the option to validate your code. So here I am going to validate my code, validate JSON, because of the ARM template is going to be written in the JSON format only. What do you mean by JSON? JavaScript object notation. So here it is showing the JSON is valid only. Suppose if you want to test it, you are going to check by doing some kind of wanted mistake. Here what I'm doing, in the 10th column I'm just removing comma, and here what I will do, validate JSON, it is throwing an error. Is it showing a error or not? Means when there is everything is fine, it is showing everything is okay, validated. Suppose if there is any issue, it is showing you the some issues going on in the particular line. So here the 10th line I am having the issue. So I need to go to the 10th line again. I need to make some modification, like again I need to put the comma and come down and validate JSON. So right now it is valid again because of the error which we had made, it has been already rectified. So it is just for checking purpose only, guys, and just copy the code, and here I want to create the VM. So where I can be able to create the VM, I'm going to show to you guys. So go to the portal. So in the portal you have the one service is there. What is the service? Deploy custom templates. Deploy custom template. This is the service. By using this service, we can be able to deploy our custom template in order to create the required resources. Here I'm going to create some kind of Windows virtual machine. Just click on Windows machine, edit template. Here Control A, remove all, paste your custom code, whatever the code you had copied, just save. Here you have the option, you need to pass these values. Here the subscription is pay as you go. The resource group 1 is, I am going to select the resource group 1. Here the region is going to select as Australia East. Here in the script, as I already mentioned, what I had mentioned, just create me string in order to pass the admin name and password. Here it is asking me to enter the string. So here I am going to set dev tester 928. and OK, and password is I am going to set. Here it is showing in the dots because of I am set some kind of secure string, so that's why it is not reveal the password which I had entered. And DNS label, it is going to take several, and public IP is my public name. The things which is already replicated here, these things which I had already defined over the script, and everything is 2008 data which I had defined, DS1 V2 which is already defined in the script, and the name of the VM is simple VM. Just click on review plus create. Let us see the magic. So I didn't do anything. So with the help of the code or script which I had built in my local laptop, with the help of the code, the ARM template, I can be able to automate the infrastructure creation. Click on create. It is going to initialize the deployment. Did I do any manual thing here? No. Here I didn't create the VM manually. With the help of the ARM template, I'm going to automate the infrastructure creation. Let me check. So whether it will be succeed or not. So once the VM has been successfully deployed, we will have simple overlook on it, and we'll try to connect to the mission as well. So in this way, we can be able to automate the infrastructure creation with the help of ARM template. Here ARM template is used to automate the infrastructure creation. It is a kind of IAC tool, infrastructure as a code. So while doing automation process, some companies are using ARM templates in order to automate their infrastructure creation. It is not mandatory to use ARM template only. Based on the requirement, multiple projects or multiple companies are going to adapt that particular IAC tools. Some companies are adapting PowerShell, some companies are adapting Terraform, some companies are adapting Ansible. So it is purely based on the architecture design. So how the company want to execute, so they are going to select that particular IAC tool. And ARM template is a cloud native or Azure native cloud automation tool. Whatever the resource which you had created over the Azure portal, the backend, the ARM template is going on. The means whatever the resource here. One more thing, guys, you have query is I can be only able to create the VM by using the ARM template. If your question is like that, obviously no. The answer is no, because of so I can be able to create any kind of resource in Azure with the help of ARM template. This is the answer. And come down. So come to home. Click on virtual machines. Here the simple VM has been created or not. Yes, successfully with the help of the script, I can be able to create the VM. I am just trying to connect to the VM and just open it, connect, and password which I had passed. Click on OK. Then check whether you will be able to connect or not. 100% you will be able to connect because of we didn't done any mistake while executing the script. Perfectly it has been created the VM or the portal account with the script which I had defined, and whatever the things which I had defined over the script, by using those things it has been successfully created the VM over portal through ARM templates. So in the next session we will have a look on how to create multiple resources in Azure by using the ARM template. So we are going to discuss in the next session. Okay. Okay guys, thank you for watching. We will meet up you in the next session with a new topic. Until signing off, thank you. Bye bye. So